Oh, hey, what's going on? Hope you guys had a great weekend. It was nice and warm this weekend, or it's supposed to be nice and warm this weekend. I'm filming this from last week, so it's a rainy day today. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and teach you the last method of multiplying fraction times a whole number. Because you guys did such an awesome job last week on those three methods we practiced last week. We drew a picture, we used a repeated addition equation, and we used a number line. That was tricky, hard stuff, but you guys did good. And we're getting better. You know, if you're not getting it right now, we'll get better. So anyway, let's review the three we did last week just real quick, guys. I had my equation of 3/4 times 3. 3/4 times 3. So, Tyler, you good? Yeah? All right. So my picture for 3/4 times 3, I'm going to represent 3/4 3 times to get my answer. So I know that my denominator is 4, so I take one whole rectangle and break it up into 4 pieces. Well, then I shade in 3/4 and represent that 3 different times. So you'll see I have 3/4 one time, 3/4 two times, and then 3/4 3 times. Now everything's shaded in and my picture represents my equation. And my answer is right here in front of me, guys. I have one hole shaded in, I have another hole shaded in, so that's my hole number 2. And of that third hole, I only have 1/4 shaded in. So my answer in picture form is 2 1/4. Now let's check it out in repeated addition. It's basically 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4. Well, if we add those across, guys, we're really just counting by threes. 3, 3, and 3. 3, 6, and 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. So it's 3, 6, 9. So I get 9/4. Now if I convert that, I get 2 1/4, which is the same answers from our picture. Never give me the answer, guys, as an improper fraction. It's got to be a proper fraction, and in this case, a mixed number. All right, last but not least, that tricky number line. So I have my number line, and I'm always starting at 0. A couple of you guys started at the first notch or the first line, but guys, we have to start at 0. So I have fourths. So I'm from 0 to 1, I have fourths. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. Well, we're representing 3/4, basically like jumping 3/4, the same thing we did in our equation. So starting at 0, I go to 3/4. 3/4 plus another 3/4, I jump to 6/4. And 3/4 plus another 3/4 plus another 3/4, we're going to jump to is 9/4, which we already figured out is 2 1/4. So we know our answers. Let's check out today's lesson, guys, our algorithm. So this is the easy way, okay? So we know our answer for this problem is 2 1/4. We already saw that with my other 3 examples. Basically, guys, my algorithm is simply this. If I take my fraction of 3/4, okay, and I'm multiplying it times my whole number of 3, all we have to do is put the whole number over 1, okay? Because 3 is the same thing as 3 over 1. How many 1s can go into 3? 3. So it's the whole number 1. Now we just multiply across. 3 times 3, we get 9. 4 times 1, we get 4. So we get 9/4. Now a lot of you guys are doing division. There's nothing wrong with that to convert. So if we do this, 4 goes into 9 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. And the remainder is 1. Now my remainder becomes my numerator. And my denominator is how many parts we're breaking up into. So we get 2 1/4 as our final answer. So let's take a look at one more example. I have 9 times 5/8. Guys, it doesn't matter if the whole number is more or if the fraction is more, but we're still multiplying. Tyler, what's up? Oh. That's our word of the day. Our sign of the day is tissue. Sign for tissue is, thanks, Tyler. Okay. So let's do the same thing. We're going to multiply across. We have 9 times 5/8. We can simply just put the 9 over 1 and multiply across. 9 times 5, I know, is 45. 8 times 1, or 1 times 8, I know is 8. So I have 45/8. Cannot get my answer as improper. We have to convert. We have to think of ourselves. How many groups of 8 can go into 45? So it's kind of like division. So we can divide 45 divided by 8. And I know 8 goes into 45, and it doesn't go in evenly, but I know 8 times 5 is 40. And that doesn't go over. And my remainder is 5. Okay? So it's going to be 5, and my remainder is my numerator, and my denominator is 8. So I get 45/8, which is equal to 5 and 5/8. And that is my answer. Now guys, if you're still not weary, if you're still a little shaky on multiplying fractions and a whole number, check it out. Use your calculator. You guys know how to put a fraction in there. If I put 9 times 5 numerator, 8 denominator, yeah, it gives me the answer of 5 and 5/8. So if you're not confident, guys, check your work on your calculator, check your answer, go back to how you know a picture works, repeated addition, which is really multiplication, what we just did, or that tricky number line. But you guys got this. This is fun. Okay, so you guys got this. Have a good day. I'll catch up to you later, and see ya.